Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rachel Bauer, and it's my great pleasure to introduce you to the Ilkley Literature Festival's new Northern Poets Showcase. So, the quality of the poems submitted this year was exceptional. We invited poems in response to the festival strand, The Things We Leave Behind, and we received a really wide range of different responses. The commissioned poems, as you will hear, are all extraordinary and excellent in their very different ways. It's been an honour to work with some of these poets on their pieces. I hope you enjoy the readings of their commissioned poems as much as I have done.
Hello, my name is Emma Conally-Barklem and I'm here to read you a poem called Magoa, which is a Spanish word for a longing for a home or feeling which no longer exists. I washed up today on the tide line of your handbag, 2 purses, one for everyday use, one for holidays and days out. Receipt for our afternoon tea, January 2018, train ticket to York for a hotel stay. Picked up your glasses. The glass fell out. I was incensed, as if someone had poked you in the eye. Hair, synthetic, in a zipped freezer bag, undated. €60 for Portugal, Bureau de Exchange receipt folded and faded. I scale for skin cells. Hold glasses delicately aloft, glint in the weak October sunlight. I spy. Fingerprints. Walls of unique truth, semaphore of a being irreplaceable. No fingers exist, but here you are offering me monopoly money when I can't travel. Though I think of boarding a plane, where my name is my only currency, and the meteor clump of molten ache will be hand luggage, undeclared. An M&S lipstick, unused. Pencil-written list, aprons, bread, toothbrush, underlined. Fairy, liquid not Sprite. I sit now on the kitchen windowsill, clear away the unidentified plant carcass that still remains, the grubby leavings you'd have cleared, perch above you as you wash dishes, absent-minded. We can sit, simultaneously. I can hand you your handbag of purses, photos, receipts, glasses, lipstick, list, a pen saying sister, tickets, mobile phone, dead. Driving license, store cards, coach card, emergency care card, gold line patient card, minus the last 2, as if they didn't exist. Just the usual mom stuff in this battered bag, so you can look indignant, wondering how it ended up in my hands, why I look so lined, broken, now relieved, grateful, knowing as you gather me in for a casual cuddle, though for me it's been so long. I'll have to hold back, act normal, hold on to you and this illusion, lest this bag is all that remains.
Hello, my name is Daniel Hinds, and I'm going to be reading a poem for you titled The Last Animal. The Last Animal. I will not live among the wild scenes of nature. Mary Shelley, The Last Man. When all the other animals are dead, the last primate stands on the shore, a steelfish net curled between his knuckles. His toe claws the wet mush, leaving furrows. Like the rusted automated tractors churning, with the enduring determineless determination of the machine's complex simplicity. They will batter the earth as long as their batteries last. He casts his net and collects the permanent bric-a-brac. He does so from day into Byronic darkness. He squirms the worm of his tongue into shells and holds the spittled cockle to his ears. There are no howling demons left to fear. No gods to give black jackal or wicked panther godheads. The black stripes of tigers consumed the white and orange flame. Gone is the need for fireside, huddle and cave. And what lives are the oldest dead, the plastic dinosaurs of the permanent amusement park, further down the pier. Beneath their outstretched moonlit sickle shapes, the only swallows are the bites of frost. He pulls his final teeth. His bones will outlast his hunger and feed the invisible. The new Adam with nothing left to name.
"16 summers." Yes, I remember Conlon, its single line of track and solitary platform, brambles and cow parsley tangling the fence. Through weighted gates, we'd shepherd our small children across the rails towards the beach. The path skirts a clutch of broken down cottages, being rebuilt stone by stone, advancing from one summer to the next by only a gable end. The grudging sheep rise at the last moment to let us pass. The wind casts a rippling net of sunlight where sanderlings skitter at the edge of the sea. At last I sit, cooling my feet in a rock pool. The cormorant flies past, a black cross in the sky. It's too hot not to be in the water, but my children are digging moats in the sand. A wave surges up the channel, divides and encircles their castle. 16 summers here, and still we strive to hold back the tide, reinforcing sand with seaweed, patting with plastic spades. I think of Fairbourne, 2 stops up the line, the village awaiting decommissioning as sea levels rise. The estuary will swallow it. When the waves have covered the sand, we retreat to the stones, watch a flock of terns reclaim the air in swirls, flexing the blades of their wings as they dive into shallows where the sea has smoothed away our footprints. Today will be the hottest day since records began. Coldest summer of the rest of our lives, says my daughter. We head back inland, our pockets heavy with looted shells.
When you cross paths with a stranger, the air spirographs the remnant of their scent, paints pictures with a palette of pheromones and fragrance. Your soul senses the legacy of memories you thought you'd forgotten. It could take you anywhere, this elderly empathy, to the pungent perfume of a post-pub pubescent fumble, to your graffitied school desk, teachers' halitosis lingering long after they pass, to sneaky ginnels where friends blend locker room deodorant with secret smoker's stench. Or maybe it takes you to a time unstained by the mundane, ancient streets where you once stumbled late night Olympics, floodlit by supermoon skies, felt the demise of summer as the clouds shed sloppy kisses to soak the pair of you, sprinting for shelter, palms held over the top of cheap plastic wine, and you know, even as you give chase, that one of you won't make it. Your feet splashing in their trailing scent, they look over a shoulder and the smile they wear seems infinite. Warm rain, pavement, today. The stranger who did nothing but cross your path wearing eau de l'histoire remains oblivious to your reminiscence. Tattoos the beat of their feet on the street, a steady retreat replete with an echo in your thoughts played on repeat. You were there. You were there. You were there.
Body, the things I have done. I left you for those few cold minutes in the hospital, flat on the bed, with nurses and doctors swarming your corpse storming your veins with paracetamol antidotes, cracking down on you. Electric. You took me back, and I never forgave you for it. Body, it was just like before, when we were 5, and you were down there by the toilet, on alone, and I was on the ceiling, watching. You were utterly abandoned, Body, remember? And it didn't stop. I left you in the hostel, hoarding addictions and diagnoses. I cut you into skinny pieces, then threw you onto nightscapes with creeps in ginnels. I put you in clothes which made men admire the ugly way I treated you. I got you pissed to make you willing, used your lips, hips. I left you to fend from 1 hour to the next whilst I fractured into 7 voices. Your teeth unbrushed, sanitary towels unchanged. Dirty. It took lupus and Sjogren's and Raynaud's and a thyroid up the knacker's yard, a mania of antibodies to make me listen. Body, you impossible, obnoxious thing, killing yourself with the will to survive. And me, your neglectful mother, your desperate daughter. I'm sorry I couldn't forgive you sooner for being a defenseless child.
Hello, I'm Joe Williams from Leeds, and this is a poem called Handwritten. I have letters, dozens of them, a box full I've carried round for 20, 30 years, from one home to another. Still in their envelopes, a chronicle of old addresses. Family home to Broodnell Road, Ashville Avenue, Church Street. Now it's time to move again, and they're not coming with me. I'm reading them one last time, the first time in years, before they get consigned to Tuesday's bins for recycling into cardboard or toilet roll. These handwritten stories from a half-remembered past. There's news of partners lost and found, favourite new albums, gigs, lines cribbed from Vic and Bob. Always an item enclosed from Steve. A drawing of me in a car by Anna, hoping I'd passed my test. I don't know if that was the time I did or one of the 3 I failed. There's Maddie, my teenage pen pal. It's decades since I thought of her or her letters, all coloured ink and smiley faces, marginalia scrawled by friends as bored as her in afternoon physics. I didn't realise at the time that boarding at St Swithin's and her mum buying a Kings Road flat meant she must have been loaded. There's John, who always wanted people to call him Jerry. No one did. He always sent a Christmas card, care of my parents, long after this. I never got round to replying, before they eventually stopped. Those were my lost years, the days I let things fall away. The letters end in 98, the year the world went digital. No need then for ink or stamps, but still, more of these letters than not are from people I'm not in touch with. Others little more than a name on a list on a social media page. I wonder how many of them have been hoarding the past, like me. I'm never the one to make the effort. I've always been better at walking away.
I look into the aging waters of my skin and do not quite recognize myself in its reflection. I am haunted by receding shorelines. I smooth over wrinkled seas, scrape back storm-felled trees into handfuls of forest. In the bedrock of our home, I watch you sleep. A question echoes about my core, what binds us in this crater of a union. Each craven promise depletes me. I live in hope, but each sunrise brings a shoal of foreign bodies washed up on my shore. I have realized they are the ghosts of you. Once sated, you roam, feckless. In our peak, we were ageless, boasting essence of fig and honey-soaked skies. Our soils were the sun-salt remnants of stars. We nestled in the hot springs of our youth. These days, I am scorched earth, masked in burnt orange horizons. I am a tearless cry simmering into seasons. We lay ashen, pining for a touch of sylvan shelter. In tender moments, I remember you, only human, wish to savor early notes of nectar. But a wanton scent etches at our bed, once shared. Now we are coasting towards a glacial edge of morning, and I feel you like time ticking under my skin. Everything is surfacing, and I am thinking of leaving you before you wake.
Hi, my name's Kitty Donnelly and this is my commissioned poem for the Ilkley Literature Festival and it's called Clearances. Keys in hand, permission to remove the treasures of a spent life. I've found watches beneath mattresses, straps pierced for thinning wrists, christening slippers crushed like moths, their satin fading in a box from white to grey to colourless. Dead brand jars, cans of pet food, rusty rimmed, travel brochures browsed by hopeful fingers. A hand-carved doll's house wired to light the bedroom of a long-grown child. Each new clearance, I return to my father's flat, his absence in the attic. Sun-projected particles that swirl from sheafs of statements, telling in debits of childhood outings. Those day-per-page diaries, their preludes to my birth. The vial of Valium he kept for 30 years to symbolise the shackles of dependence. Every card I ever made, felt pen mermaids, hearts above my best joined up. Final moments with the remnants of a bagged existence bound for the charity shop. There is no more than this lone sliver of allotted time, what we leave behind us.